Drayk, can you kind of take us through what your daily schedule involves?
Yeah, so like on a day where I have baseball, it's workouts in the morning, classes till 1:45, baseball till 2:30, or starting at 2:30. That usually ends around 5:30 for me because I have to leave early, and then I have another class from 6 to 7. And then that's kind of when I'll come back here actually, and then do like a little bit of film work, study the playbook, and then like recovery stuff. And then usually I'm done about 8:30, 9 o'clock. That's like usually on a day with baseball. Without baseball, it's just like today, after this, I'll be done for the day. So usually I get done at about 5:30.
And then how's just your transition to picking up the defense gone so far?
It's gone pretty well. Being able to learn from the older guys has been really helpful considering they've been here. They got coached under Coach Freeman, then a year and a half of Coach Golden. So, they know the defense inside and out. So being able to ask them questions, talk to them about the playbook, being able to meet with them and learn from them has been really helpful so far.
How important was it for you to be able to play both sports for wherever you decided to go?
Yeah, that was probably outside of academics and then relationships. It was the biggest piece, I would say, just because that was like always a dream of mine. So I always wanted to play both sports, and so like if a school wasn't willing to do that, I didn't want to go to that school. And so, two sports was like probably the biggest thing for me outside of football.
Do you see that they help each other, play off of each other, like being able to play both sports, just the physical aspect of it, the mental aspect?
Yeah, so I would say that's probably a big piece of why I played both sports, like growing up. Like in baseball, you have to have loose hips, be able to move side to side, and that kind of correlates with football. As a linebacker, you have to run sideline to sideline. So, those two things kind of always related to each other for me. And then like another thing is like stance. One thing that I always kept in my mind when I was hitting is like linebacker stance, because in a linebacker stance you're low, you're kind of in a squat, and so like when a hitting stance, like I always like to get lower and try to stay in my legs when I swing. So like that's just how they correlated for me.
How will you balance that schedule that you have, especially as spring football starts to ramp up?
Yeah, so right now it's just really practices 2 days a week, and then they leave and I'll do my own thing on the weekends. So it's not been like too bad. Like I can be at practice with football, and then when spring ball starts, it kind of just depends if I'm playing or not. There's a plan in place where if that happens for both pieces, but we're kind of in the works about that right now.
Drayk, now that you're on campus, how well did Andran prepare you for Notre Dame and athletic endeavors? They've done, as far as academic piece, it's very much a college prep school. I came in here, take the same notes that I did in high school, study the same way, and so it's, as far as that piece goes, they've been very helpful. Football-wise, they allowed for, like my coach, defensive coach in college, so some of the terms they use is a little bit the same, but it's just more on an advanced level. What's the one big thing that you've learned about football since you've been here?
Playbook can be a little big, but no, it's just the speed of the game is a lot different. The players on the offensive side are a lot faster than high school, so it's just being able to play at that speed and then be able to do it mentally quickly too.
You mentioned the opportunity to play both sports being important in your decision, but how important was being able to be a little bit close to home as well?
At first it wasn't like that big of a thing. Like I'd actually wanted to move away from home, but as like the summer came after my sophomore year, and like I was traveling, going on visits and baseball at the same time, it became more of a like bigger thing because like my brother and sister were getting older. They were kind of had a better relationship to each other than me, and so it was like something that I didn't want to miss them growing up. And then found out my stepmom was pregnant, so I had a little brother coming, and so then it just kind of added on top of that, so it just kind of became a bigger component at the end of my recruitment.
You've been one of the more vocal recruits, I guess, and like leading throughout your recruitment and then arriving here as well, just about your passion for the university. I was wondering a little bit about where that came from? Is it sort of trying to pitch it to other recruits, or is it just your passion for the U just kind of overflowing, or what is it?
It was a little bit like a both. Like, I really liked some of the recruits that we wanted to bring in and like just developing relationships with them. Like, was nice because it was like an outlet kind of. We're all going through the same thing, so like when we talk to each other, we can, like let some of the tension out to each other. But also, when I committed, Coach Freeman had gotten the head job like shortly after, and so like he had recruited me since he was at Cincinnati. So we had a really close relationship, and then I had just fallen in love with the university and everything it offered, and so it was just a little bit of mixture of like the relationships I had here, along with the love for the university.
Drayk, I noticed, I think on the roster, you're maybe down about 5 or 10 pounds from your high school playing weight. Is that kind of accurate? Is that a result of playing both sports and being so active, or was that kind of just trying to slim down a little bit?
Yeah, so a little bit of both again. When I came in, I talked to the dietitians, and I wanted to lose body fat, put on more lean muscle, and so since I've been here, I've been able to do that, and then along with like when I got here, it was baseball, football basically every day, and so that was really hard to maintain weight. So it was more towards the beginning, kind of I was trying to lose weight a little bit, like lose body fat, which was naturally going to make me lose weight. And on top of that, I had 2 practices, so it was just going down really fast. And so, but I've been able to put some weight back on, and with baseball not being so much anymore as they're traveling, I've been able to maintain it.
I know Coach Laurinaitis was kind of here when you first enrolled and maybe played a little bit of a role in the tail end of your recruitment. Now a new coach, Coach Bola. What's your relationship like with him, and what impact has he made on that room for you guys so far?
Yeah, so my relationship with him is really good. Like I'm able to go to him about anything that I have related to the playbook, any questions, stuff like that, and he'll sit down and explain it to me, help me understand it, and so he really has taken over the role of what Laurinaitis was for the older guys. They had Laurinaitis. I didn't really when I got here. I had him for a couple weeks, and then we have Coach Bula, and so he's taken on that role, and I feel like he's done a great job because he explains everything to us, make sure we understand before he lets us go on to the next thing.
Is there any personality traits or in just your relationship with him that would stick out that maybe he could do well on the recruiting trail, or how he could connect with recruits? Is there anything that maybe you see in him from that perspective?
He obviously he can talk ball, so everybody wants to talk ball, but also he's just a high energy guy. He's very personable, relatable. He always says what's up to us, always asks how we're doing, and so he is a lot like, I would say, Coach Freeman in that way. He gets to know you, and so I feel like that would definitely relate to recruiting.
Last one, if we got one. Drayk, you talked about your siblings. I guess, are you the best athlete in the family?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.